Hey guys, this is Varien here, and one of the most common questions that I get is how do you find your own sound? And for everyone, it's a very different journey. I will show you on my Razer blade just an example of, all sorts of things you can do to find a sound. There's a few, tips and sort of ways I can sort of push you to go down this journey. And what it really comes down to is that you have to produce a lot of music. And you have to be true to yourself and your own influences, because we all grew up listening to different stuff. We all like different types of stuff. So why not incorporate it into our own stuff? So you do have to have the technical prowess to make it happen, but you need to also know what you're doing with, as far as your influences. So one of the questions, is like, well, should I be combining things? Can I reverse engineer a song to figure out how people do things, et cetera, et cetera? And the reality is, yes, to all of those. You should be reverse engineering your favorite songs to see how they tick. You should be, trying to combine your favorite genres together to make a new thing. You should be doing all of that. But none of that is going to happen unless you do it often and you become familiar with making decisions to the point where it's second nature to just do you. It's just something you do. Like, there's a lot of things I do, like certain EQ curves that I just do naturally. I can do it blindfolded. These are decisions that I've made that seem right to me, that feel right to me, and it's part of my sound. Don't ever confuse that terminology to actually mean you have one sound, because that will be the death of your career. If your sound is literally just a sound or a preset or a patch in Massive or Spire and someone else can recreate it, your career is not going to be as long-lasting, whereas if you approach it from much more like philosophical, much more emotional connection to your music and your influences, that's something you can translate no matter what's hot and what's not. So to kind of give you an example, I've got my track here, Ether and Light, which is a glitch hop tune, but I've decided to do a lot of Indian Hindustani influences. So for instance, I've got this tabla in the build-up. That's going to tell you Arabic. I've got this Arabic scale in the build-up, just sort of hinting, just subtleties that all add up to this big picture. I've got this huge sort of frame drum sound. Well, that's an ah sound. But all these things add up. And then you get to this part right before the drop where you have this digitized Egyptian, Middle Eastern, whatever you want to call it, vocal, and that really seals the deal in telling you where you're going. So let's take a listen. So that's, your average glitch hop sort of beat with your bass and whatnot, but when you surround it by the subtleties of Eastern music, it becomes a completely unique thing. To me, it's not that unique because I knew where both influences came from, glitch hop and Eastern music. But someone who's maybe not familiar with Eastern music hears this and says, this is so unique, this is so weird, when really it's just two of my influences put together. So maybe you want to combine bluegrass and house. Maybe you want to combine metal and dubstep. You can do it. You just have to find the similarities and make them connect in a way that makes sense. And once you do that, to you it makes sense, but to everyone else it's a completely new and fresh thing, and that's what you want to go for. And the sky's the limit as far as combining influences. Anyone who's familiar with my music knows this. So that's pretty much all I have to say about finding your sound, is just to make a habit of just producing and making firm decisions, going with your gut, trusting your instincts, listening to what you love. Don't worry about what's hot. It'll be over tomorrow. You got to find something that works for you now, and something that you think will work for you for the rest of your life. And that's all I have to say for now. So until next time.